The Republic of South Africa does not have a single capital city. Instead, it is one of a few countries in the world that divides its governmental powers to among three cities: Pretoria, Cape Town, and Bloemfontein. They are strategically placed throughout the country, each hosting a separate segment of the nation's government. When asked about the nation's capital city, most people, including South Africans, will answer Pretoria or Cape Town. The capitals are divided as follows. Pretoria is the administrative capital, located in the province of Gauteng. Pretoria is in the northeast parts of South Africa and near the city of Johannesburg. It is home to the executive branch of the South African government. The city also hosts many national-level departments of government and foreign embassies. It is usually in the top 10 cities in the world with the most embassies. Bloemfontein is the judicial capital, located in the province of the Free State. Bloemfontein is in the center of South Africa, a strategic location in the history of the country. It is home to the Supreme Court of Appeal, the second highest court in South Africa. The Constitutional Court, which is the High Court, is located in Johannesburg. Cape Town is the legislative capital, located in the southwest corner of South Africa, in the province of the Western Cape. Cape Town is the second largest city in population and the oldest in the country. It is home to the country's legislative parliament, including the National Assembly and the National Council of Provinces. Looking back in colonial history, in 1899 there were 4 traditional provinces in total. Natal and the Cape of Good Hope were British territory. The Orange Free State and the South African Republic, or Transvaal, were Boer administered. Bloemfontein being the capital of the Orange Free State, Pretoria being the capital of the Transvaal, Pietermaritzburg being the capital of the Natal colony, Cape Town being the capital of the Cape colony. But all of this changed when the Second Boer War started. It was fought between the British Empire and the 2 independent Boer states, the South African Republic or Transvaal and the Orange Free State, over the empire's influence in South Africa. The major trigger to the war was the discovery of diamonds and gold in the Boer-administered provinces. Initial Boer attacks were successful, the most well-known battle being Spinkom. It was fought in the Natal colony. It resulted in the Boer victory. It was a major disaster for the British. The casualties for the British were 243 men who lost their lives, while only 68 were killed for the Boer army. But later, the British reinforcements reversed the tide by winning key battles, including the relief of Ladysmith. But the war continued for the next 3 years with Boer guerrilla warfare tactics. It was until harsh British countermeasures, including a scorched earth policy and the introduction of concentration camps, brought the Boers to terms. But the whole war was a huge cost to the British Army. They lost 22,092 men, while for the Boer Army they only lost 6,189 men. Famous people who witnessed the war. Winston Churchill. He worked as a war correspondent for the Morning Post. At the age of 26, he was captured and held prisoner in a camp in Pretoria, from which he escaped and rejoined the British Army. He witnessed the capture of Ladysmith and Pretoria. Mahatma Gandhi. Best known as the leader of the independence movement in India, he lived in South Africa from 1893 up until 1915. At Spincope Battle, Gandhi and his bearers had to carry wounded soldiers for miles to a field hospital because the terrain was too rough for the ambulances. Gandhi and 37 other Indians received the War Medal. His time at Spincope could have shaped his view of the British Empire. The Treaty of Vereeniging ended the war. It resulted in the Boer republics agreeing to come under the control of the British Crown and integrating the land. In 1910, the Union of South Africa was created out of the treaty. Like Canada, Australia, and New Zealand, it was self-governing dominion of the British Empire. But there was a great dispute about the locations of the new country's capital city. A compromise was reached to spread the balance of power throughout the country, and this led to the current capital cities. Cape Town, being the major base of British power in Southern Africa and the headquarters of the High Commissioner, was granted the country's legislative parliament. Bloemfontein, being located at the center of the country and former Boer states, will maintain national importance by being the judicial capital. Pietermaritzburg, the Natal capital, was awarded financial compensation not to be one of the Union capitals. Pretoria. The new country required a governmental building which could signify unity and host the new government. The project was commissioned, designed by Sir Herbert Baker. The Union buildings were constructed. They have a semicircular shape with two wings at the sides and dome towers that used to represent two people's languages, English and Afrikaans. But now this serves to represent the union of a formerly divided people by the new democratic government. The buildings are a site of presidential inaugurations. On 10 May 1994, inauguration of Nelson Mandela, South Africa's first democratically elected president after the end of apartheid, signaled the new beginning of a country's history. On 16 December 2013, a 9-meter high bronze statue of Mandela was unveiled at the Union Buildings. And that is the story of South Africa's three capital cities.